Hello and welcome back to Live Like You're Living. I have been off the radar, but it's for good reason. I'd like to introduce you to my sister, who is at the moment battling breast cancer. I'm going to do a quick interview with her and let her explain her symptoms and the things that she's facing right now. Okay, so can you explain to us if there were any symptoms that perhaps you might have overlooked before finding out your diagnosis? Well, first tell us what your diagnosis is.
It's pronounced the cancer start with an M.
Metastasized?
Yes, because it's spreading.
Okay. So did they tell you if it's a stage or what level it
It
is?
says it's between a 3 and a 4.
Okay.
And the reason why, because it's spreading from my breast, and they found it in my foot.
Okay.
Only thing I got to do is say thank you, because so far I haven't got any information if it hit any of my organs. If it hit my organs, that would have made it worse.
Okay. So what type of cancer have you been diagnosed with?
Breast cancer.
Breast cancer that has spread. Okay, and they gave you stage 3, between 3 and 4.
Right.
Okay. So did you notice anything before, or can you explain what happened in the past year?
Well, the past year, I was delivering papers,
Mm-hmm.
fell on ice, and I thought everything was because I had rib injury.
Okay. So you felt pain?
I was in constant pain because of the falling from the ice.
Right.
Okay, no, I wasn't feeling anything with my breast or anything
Okay.
until I had a setback from the breast, not the breast cancer. I had a setback from the falling from my ribs.
So you injured your ribs. What did they say about your rib injury?
They said they just called it a rib injury.
Did you have any broken bones or?
They weren't quite sure.
Okay.
They gave me an X-ray.
Just a regular basic X-ray.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But the basic X-ray, they could have found it in that regular basic X-ray.
Okay, but they didn't notice anything.
Right. So I had a setback.
How long, from what point to what point, caused a setback, or do you experience a setback?
Okay.
Setback meaning that you got well and then you felt bad again.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got well because they sent me to a yoga and they sent me to therapy.
Okay, so you have physical therapy. Okay.
And they sent me to therapy at the end of February and towards the middle of March. And I was feeling real good.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me treatments for my back and everything.
You was experiencing back pain also?
Yes.
And this is all on one side?
It was all on one side. Now the back pain, they thought it was connected with the ribs.
Okay.
Because your ribs is front and back.
Right.
So what happened was, I'm thinking that, I got a little job. This is April.
Okay.
I started working April the 10th. I try not to strain myself. Summertime come around, I accidentally put like 3 fingers to help my husband put a lawnmower on the truck.
Mm-hmm. Now you were feeling okay. Okay, so when you first injured yourself, it was in the wintertime.
Yes.
It was in January.
Yes.
So all this time, now this is the month of April, January, February, March, right. April. So 4 months later, you still feel pain.
I felt somewhat pain, but I didn't strain myself. I accidentally restrained the injury.
Okay, so in your mind, you're still thinking everything is still rib.
Right.
Okay.
So we're looking at You're looking at April. I'm, just working not that much, just
Okay.
a little.
Okay.
May come around, June come around. When June come around, I fell again.
Okay.
But I fell going up the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and I also had my grandson. I
Okay.
wasn't carrying him or anything. He ran through your legs. You know how children are.
Yes.
Well, long story short, I felt my chest sank it. I felt like my chest dented in.
When you fell.
Yes. But I'm thinking that could have been from the rib injury, not knowing that my breast, the, the tip of my like nipple seemed like it went in.
Okay. So it was
And I wasn't thinking.
so it felt like it felt like you got a punch in the chest?
Not really a punch. When I fell, when I touched it,
Mm-hmm. Did it feel
it felt like
normal?
it just went dented in.
Interesting. Okay.
That's when I started recognizing that there's a problem. This
Okay.
was in like the ending of June.
All right.
Then I started experiencing more pain
To what areas?
to my rib area. So I figured it's all like on that one side still.
Okay.
Everything just keep going to that one side.
Okay.
So I'm going back into time that I had to redo my yoga, go get my strength back.
Mm-hmm. Because you were feeling weaker now?
I was feeling the same way that I was when I fell the first time.
Okay, so now you feel like you had
That's a
a brand new
setback.
injury. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like it was just the same injury,
So you feel
that
the pain is just as strong.
just as strong. But it's almost like I did everything in reverse. I couldn't stand upright. I had to re-walk all over again. By the time the 4th of July came around,
Mm-hmm.
my cousin's funeral, I couldn't make it to it because I couldn't walk.
Okay, so at what point did you start having problems walking? If you fell in January,
I had problems walking in January.
so the initial rib injury created a walking problem for you.
Right, which I did not know.
So were you limping,
I was bending forward.
but your legs were still moving?
My legs were still moving.
Okay. So it was just pain in your torso, but you could still
Right,
move your legs.
right.
Okay. At what point did your walking become worse?
My walking became worse was right around August, the end of August, September,
Okay.
because I couldn't put my shoes on.
So you couldn't bend over or you couldn't lift your leg? What was it? What was being
I
interrupted?
I couldn't bend over to put my shoe on, and if it was a flip flop, that was unusual because I would slide my shoes on
Mm-hmm.
and have my husband put my feet on shoes on my feet.
Okay.
But it got to a point that it was so normal, and I wasn't thinking of myself. I was thinking more of my family and the things that they needed to do, they schooling, and what need to push them on for the day.
So you kept putting your own illness and your own symptoms on the back burner because you were going through
Right.
your regular routine of taking care of your family.
Yeah, to keep things going.
Right.
Because my grandson had to go to school, my son had to go to school.
Right. So you just try to keep up with your daily chores and the daily routines,
Right,
and you were ignoring your pain.
right.
What were you doing to help with your pain symptoms?
I was taking a leave,
Over the counter medication.
over the counter, and Excedrin.
Did it help at all?
Yes, it did.
It did? Okay, so then at that point you were probably thinking, well, it's just some regular aches and pains.
Right.
What did the doctor say to you when you went to check on your ribs? Did you explain to them that your pain wasn't going away?
No, I didn't, because the first I had to go through my attorneys, because since the pain was work related,
Okay, so this had,
I had to get permission to go to the hospital or anything else that I needed. I had to get permission from my attorneys
okay,
to
so
see
it's
if the
all
claim
workman
was
comp type of thing.
see if it was still open for me.
So you weren't allowed to go to doctors
I was
freely.
allowed,
You was or weren't?
but I had to go through their channels.
Oh, interesting. So, are you okay? You have hiccups now?
I have
Like acid reflux?
yes, from taking all the medication.
So the medicine that they're giving you now has created a new symptom for you?
Yeah,
It's giving you
they said
acid
I should be
reflux?
going through it.
What medicines are you on now?
I take Percocets. I take an extended Percocet.
Okay.
I take 5. I think they call it Prednisone type. It's a steroids,
Okay.
reverse steroids. I take a shot to keep from getting blood clot.
Okay.
And stool softeners.
To help with the
Stuff like that.
opiates. Okay.
Yeah, and I take a Mylanta or something like that because by the strength of the pain pills, it messes up and gives you
Acid reflux.
it gives you clogged up,
Oh, it makes you constipated.
constipated.
Okay, so so let's go back to where you said in August. So you're not walking well. You're still in a lot of pain.
I'm getting around with a crutch.
Now you're using a crutch or a cane or something to hold your
Not a
weight.
cane, a crutch.
A whole crutch. Okay.
Nothing else but a crutch. I was going to the grocery stores. I would sit down in the
Car, the little driver
little
thing.
thingy. Then it got to a point when I went to visit my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I would never get out. She has an elevator.
Mm-hmm.
I would wait for them to go to see her,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wait in the car.
So what type of pain, did the pain just stay the same or did you feel as if it was spreading or
I
changing?
didn't feel it. I mean,
It was just the
it
same
was
old
just
pain.
there. I had a heating pad,
Mm-hmm.
and I also had a back brace because I put a pillow on my back when I drove.
Okay.
And I
So
slid down when I sat in the car. I slid down. It had everything to do with my back. It didn't have nothing to do with the front of my body.
so you felt the majority, the most percentage of the pain was radiating from your back.
Right. Which I had a childhood scoliosis.
Okay.
And I figured it had something to do with that.
So could you tell any difference of the you mentioned before about that there was swelling on your torso somewhere. Did you have swelling? You mentioned that the swelling had went down from something. When did you start to swell?
On my rear and what you mean in the back?
On your, you said that your stomach area or something. You said it was swollen. When did that start to swell? You had mentioned this to me before, and you said that they
when
give you
I
treatment.
did my yoga and stuff. So they teach you how to breathe and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured everything was related to
That pain.
all that, and learning how to breathe and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to make it sound more that it was more of a related injury. And I did it. I did my yoga and everything else.
So did you have any bruises or any external?
No.
No symptoms like that. Okay. So what happened in August and September?
August and September, I was going shopping. I would take a crutch and throw it in the back seat of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had pillows. I had a back brace. So I put the back brace on, had the pillows in the back of my seat,
Okay.
and I would get around with a crutch if I was walking around with one hand on the car and swinging myself with a crutch. And that was how I was moving around. I was moving around quicker like that. And I was saying like, well, ain't nothing wrong. I had lied to myself but I was lying to myself, everyone.
You're
If
ignoring
you
the
know,
pain.
if you know that things that you were doing one way, and you're so busy trying to make sure your family is doing better than you, look at yourself. Because if you don't, you got to think you are the first of that family. You have to be the one that is better. Your body has to be in better condition if you want that family to hold together.
So your bottom line is saying don't ignore
Don't
you.
ignore your body, especially if you're the woman of the house.
Right.
Because a lot of things we thinking that we're doing right, you do better if you look at yourself
And take care of
and
yourself.
take care of yourself. If you notice that one thing is wrong,
Get it checked out.
get it checked out. I didn't realize how my feet and everything else was until I mentioned to one of my children. Did you notice that my feet was like that? My feet turned in the shoe like Michael Jackson, like on like The Wiz or something, like a twist. And I wasn't paying attention. And I asked my
While you were
husband,
sitting
while I
still,
was sitting still on the porch.
it just moved.
No, I asked my husband to put my shoe on
Mm-hmm.
because I couldn't put it on.
Mm-hmm.
Right there was a quick sign right there. And it just got to a point I wanted to go to the chiropractor.
Mm-hmm.
I missed the appointment.
Okay.
I said, forget it, just take me to the hospital.